Yeah, good evening, Rahul. No, I'm of the belief that religious dress codes, symbols, or identities should have no place in schools or as part of school uniforms. That they do, and that too in a secular country, is itself hypocritical and problematic. There are two issues here, Rahul, and both are very important. Number one, there should be one rule and no duplicity in implementing or following it. And when I say religious dress codes, symbols, and identities, it is evident that I mean all religions, no exception. Now, whether you think it is misogynistic or not, whether you like it or not, Islam is very clear on how a woman should dress. Quote, and tell the believing women to reduce their vision and guard their private parts and to wrap their head covers over their chests and not expose their adornment except to their husbands, fathers, or males having no physical desire. 24:31. Quote, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to bring down over themselves part of their outer garments that is more suitable that they will be known and not be abused. 33:59 and 7:26. And because these are the commandments of Allah, by definition, a true Muslim has to follow them. So every true Muslim woman who must believe in each and every edict of Allah by definition has to adhere to this dress code of a burqa or a hijab or a chador. And it is fine for a school to not allow this. It really is, because it has a specific rule for a uniform. But it cannot at the same time allow dress codes, identities, or symbols of other religions. So you can't allow a tilak, a kada, a kanga, a cross, a turban, and ban burqa, howsoever regressive or a symbol of subjugation or oppression of a woman you might think it is. It is ordained by God, and therefore its unworthiness are subjective. It is another matter that Indian feminists are frauds and are scared of pointing out misogyny in Islam, and so they say a ghungat is oppressive but a burqa is not. Point number two, there is a legitimate concern of security because a burqa and a chador covers the face. So in this context, a hijab and full body covering as prescribed in the Quran should be allowed, but not a face covering. Now let me come to the other issue. Rahul, just 30 seconds, very important. By allowing religious dress codes, symbols, identities into educational institutions, we are on the road, sadly, to normalizing unjust, draconian, misogynistic, sexist, supremacist orders and commandments, essentially allowing religion to rule over us and our choices. Where would this end? I ask a simple question to you and fellow panelists, Rahul. Question is this: what if tomorrow some religion or its God orders women to be shackled in ball and chain at all times? Would you demand that the principal step aside and allow the girls to rattle and drag themselves in?
Doctor, there have been instances when, and we've seen it in the recent past, where certain groups have come out and said that we should allow Johar. There have been instances, if you remember, after the movie Padmavati was released or some such, I'm not very conversant with my Bollywood, but I remember this came up. And then, of course, there's been talk perennially about imposing the ghungat in certain cups in different parts of the country. At that time, of course, as you rightly said, lots of rights activists disregarded customs, etc., and said this is reprehensible. Today, I find that, now I'm just saying, I'm sorry, I'm taking the liberty, Dr. Ranganathan, what if tomorrow a whole group of girls from, or female students from the Hindu community was to say, allow us with ghungats into the class? Yeah. What would we do?